My Technology Creed by Veronica Doyle. We live in a world that is becoming increasingly connected through technology. As an educator, it is my job to help prepare my students and give them the skills they will need to be successful in this changing world. I believe that technology can bring students together and can teach them to collaborate with people around the world. As an educator, and more specifically a world language teacher, I will teach my students how they can connect to others. I will teach my students how to use tools such as Skype, podcasts, and social networking to enhance language learning. In order to achieve this goal of connecting my students with others around the world, I must first teach my students basic skills, etiquette, and legal responsibilities. Many students come into the classroom having already been exposed to technology, but not necessarily as an educational tool. As an educator, I must teach my students how technology can be used for learning. In the days of text messages, tweets, and status updates, it can be difficult to convince students of the educational uses of technology, but the possibilities are endless. Imagine the surprise on students' faces when they are told that their cell phones are educational tools and can and should be used as such. I believe that teachers can use technology to connect with and engage their students, while also giving students the tools they need to be successful and contributing citizens in this rapidly changing technology landscape. I also believe it is important to be aware that not all students come into the classroom with exposure to technology, and that not all students have internet access at home. In my classes, I will provide students with opportunities to use and become familiar with technology. I cannot assume that my students know and understand how to use various technological devices. I will incorporate technology education into my classes to help level the playing field for all of my students and give each of them the chance to succeed. It is important that I not just simply teach my students about technology. I also believe it is critical that I teach my students how to be moral and ethical users of technology. I must teach my students how to be responsible while online and what is considered to be appropriate behavior. Citing sources and following copyright laws are critical skills that students must develop to be successful in the technological world. As a teacher, I will model proper use of the internet for my students and educate them on the proper and legal practices to which we are all subject. Students also need to know that the internet does not give them anonymity. Everything they do online can be traced back to them. Cyberbullying and online stalking are real issues about which I must educate my students. I will teach my students how to be respectful and responsible users of technology, and also give them the tools they will need to deal with any problems that may arise. I feel that I am responsible for empowering my students and teaching them how to protect themselves. The report abuse button is something very simple, yet very effective. As a teacher, I want my students to be aware of how to keep themselves and others safe. I believe that students need to learn technological skills and etiquette to be successful in our increasingly technological society. I also believe that teachers can use technology to engage students and differentiate instruction to allow students to learn at their own pace. As a teacher, I will help my students develop the skills they will need to excel in a technological world. Thanks for watching.